Hi there. I wanted to touch on a topic of what's been happening on this planet for the last little while, or maybe for quite a while, and that is a topic of human interaction, human relationships. When we look throughout history or into every culture, we can see that almost every culture has some kind of a sacred book that was passed on by some prophet and which who always tried to teach people or give people an example of how to live. And the most basic message of all the prophets was to do good and to live in peace and harmony with each other. So when we look at today's world, as when we look in the world in the past, we see that even though a lot of people were so-called God-fearing and pray to God, there's been so much hate and so much anger and fear and atrocities that have been done towards others, supposed others, whom people have been mostly, whom people have accepted as being simply others, simply people who are not us, and therefore maybe should be hated, maybe despised or whatever. So the bottom line here, what I'm saying here is that most folks unconsciously have chosen to think of others who are not part of their group as not worth much of respect or love. And yet at the same time, all the scriptures, whether it's the Bible, Torah, Quran, Bhagavad Gita, they talk about brotherly love. We're not talking about brotherly love here toward only your own. We're talking about brotherly, brother, brotherly love amongst everybody, no matter who you are. But the point that I'm getting at here is that if we look at today's world and all the conflicts that are happening, let's take a look at example of Muslims and Jews. Which to me are wonderful people. I would have to say one thing. What is going on? Why are why is hatred and anger chosen over forgiveness, over peace? Why hold on to the things that have happened in the past where everybody has done horrible things to one another over time? So I'd say it is a really the latest time to stop and honestly acknowledge that yes, there has that harm has been done on both sides, And we no longer need to hold on to what has happened, because it's not going to change anything. Hate is not going to change anything. Anger is not going to change anything. Fighting is just going to bring more suffering and pain, and continue this cycle. I mean, how many loved ones and how much suffering does there have to be? I'd say none. I would say, if you're Muslim or Jewish, I would say take a moment and choose to forgive and take responsibility for how you are, for your own thinking and your actions, rather than following anger and hate that's spread by others, because none of the prophets have ever taught this. So, and it's not God, according to any God teachings, to hate and kill and do all the other horrible things to one another. Since everything has been created by God, as a lot of people believe, whether Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, and that means everything, including every single one of us and everything in existence, how can we go against it? Since it's all due to this magnificent force. Anyways, if you're Jewish and or Muslim, take a moment to forgive your enemy, or those who have caused harm and pain to your family, and choose forgiveness. Choose not to continue the insanity of hate and anger, which breeds nothing else but hate and anger, and more of it, and more of it. It's not the way. It's time to stop this kind of whatever is going on, so that we can have a change, a shift for good that everybody's looking forward to. And it all starts with each one of us. So peace and love. Shalom, salam. And all the best to everybody.